Fine, I'm desperate. So what? I may not know the ABCs of ripping background images from games, and I have neither a sea chart nor a compass, but still, one idiot is taking on the ocean of the great image-ripping age alone. His name is Gouken Shadow! Let's go! Time to get those backgrounds. My enthusiasm was peerless. If energy and recklessness was all it took, I could take over the world. However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone, and getting the raw backgrounds from the Steam game is probably the top contender. Therefore, I needed to be clever and cunning. This task would no doubt test my computer skills to their very limit. I stole my resolve and started navigating the folders. I was on the hunt for some kind of hint about this data. The Higurashi game location should be a good start. For a complete amateur like me, the first thing I needed was information. Just like he who would cross the oceans needed a compass. For me, some kind of hint was absolutely indispensable. Ah, here it is, the Higurashi folder. I opened up the folder, ready to face whatever came my way. Whoa. There were several folders and files to choose from, and I had no idea which could be the correct one. The process of elimination was my only choice. Managed. What does that mean? Like some kind of place for managers of the game? A managerial folder? It couldn't possibly be there. Mono. Like mono as in mono sound versus stereo sound? Why would the background images be in a sound folder? There's no way it's there. Plugins. Don't make me laugh. Plugins are extra additions to a game, not essential parts. It's not this one. Resources. Yes! This must be it! There's no way the backgrounds could be anywhere else, right? Resources. The folder that contains the game's resources. It's so obvious. I've already found it without even trying. And as such optimistic thoughts filled my chest, I opened the folder. However... What? It's just 2 files that are less than 2 megabytes each. The backgrounds aren't here at all. Ah! Why can't this just be easy? It won't do any good to yell. Cool off, Gouken Shadow. Think calmly. For now, I'll go back and see if there's something I missed. Let's see. I took a look at the last folder. Streaming assets. Streaming? It's gotta be for streaming the video game or something. There's no way it could be here. At this point, I had reached the end of the folders. All that was left were 4 files. Main data, output log.txt, resources.assets, shared assets 0.assets. And none of them were the image files. This could mean only one thing. The data must be stored inside one of these files. This was the only possible conclusion. Somehow, the image data of those backgrounds must have been in one of these files. But which one? Main data was far too small to contain them, only 2 megabytes, and output log.txt was obviously just a text file. So it must be either resources.assets or shared assets 0.assets. I just noticed something. These 2 files have the exact same extension. They're both .assets files. So if I can figure out how to get the assets from one, I can definitely figure out how to get the assets from another. I can do this. But how? Think, Gouken Shadow. Think. Hold on. This folder structure looks awfully familiar. Have I seen it before? Somewhere in my past? Aha! I have! It's the structure of a game made in Unity. I've played so many games with this folder structure. Finally, a sliver of hope. Unity is a very popular engine. Popularity breeds possibility. If assets files are associated with something as popular as Unity, there must already be a way to open an assets file. All I have to do is find it. I scoured the web for answers, certain that there must have been a way. Someone must have made some kind of tool to do this. Unity must have had some kind of built-in feature to make this happen. But the more I searched, the less I found. After an hour, I came up completely empty. How can this be? How could it possibly be that there's no easy way to open an assets file? I felt like an animal caught in a trap. There was nowhere for me to go. No one who could save me. Nothing to do but give up on ever being able to have clean background images. No, I can't accept this. I won't accept this. If I can't find a way to open an assets file, I'll make a way. Okay. Remember the basics, Goken Shadow. You're a programmer. You can do this. A file is just data that's been arranged in a certain way. And if you can find the way it's arranged, you can find how to display it. And the best way to see how data is arranged is a hex editor. Yes, this is gonna work. I can feel it. I'll just open up the file and look for obvious patterns. I opened the file in the hex editor, my determination growing. What is this? I can't tell what any of this means. There's no patterns at all. Are these the values of a header? Are they part of the data? Nothing is specified. What does this even mean? It's just a bunch of numbers. I don't understand it at all. This was foolish. It was like walking into a dark cave with no light. I needed something to help me. I needed something that would make it easier to see. I needed a guide. I got it! My mind came up with a genius plan. I made a new image file. The top half of the image was white, and the bottom half was yellow. With this image, I would be able to see where the patterns in the data differed. I would be able to see the file format for what it really was. I would be able to reveal the truth. I opened up Unity and created a game that only contained my image file, then clicked the build button to make it generate an asset file. Then, I opened the asset file in a hex editor. You're a genius, Goken Shadow. A mad freaking genius. I could see the pattern now, and it was simpler than I thought. The data was literally being stored as raw RGB pixels. Number for red, number for green, number for blue, number for red, number for green, number for blue, etc. until the end of the file. That means these pixels are uncompressed. Uncompressed pixels are easy. I can just write a program that will iterate through them and display them one by one on the screen. All I have to do is import the data, set a pointer at the beginning, and let it fly. Cakewalk! But to display an image, I'll need to know how tall and wide it will be. Otherwise, I'll just be displaying a horizontal line. I can't tell the dimensions just by looking at this data. There has to be a way, though. Eureka! Yet again, my mind came up with a genius idea. I'll add controls that let me adjust the size. That way, I can just keep adjusting it till it fits. Time to bring this baby to life. My hands flew over the keyboard, furiously typing, compiling, testing, failing, retyping, recompiling, retesting, refailing, until finally. Here it is, the ultimate asset viewing program. Let's see if it worked with the asset file. I'm not seeing anything quite yet, and it all looks kind of purple. But maybe if I adjust the width a little bit, I think I see something. Maybe just a little bit more width, and I do see something. It's a menu item. I'm in the right place. Just a little bit shallower. There it is. The perfect width is 1024. That would make sense because this game runs at 1024 by 768. Now I just need to figure out a way to get rid of this purple. What could be causing it? I've got it. Since these pixels are just repetitions of different values of red, green, and blue, they must just be displaying out of order. All I need to do is shift the starting point, and it will shift the colors. I'll just add an extra variable that pads the position of the pointer, then I'll make some controls that allow me to adjust it, and there it is. The image data in all its full color glory. I was on top of the world, a master among coders, a god among mortals, a genius beyond all reckoning. Now, with my ultimate program, I can find those backgrounds. They're definitely in the shared asset 0.assets file. It's the bigger of the two, after all. Wait, this is the end of the file. What? Where are the backgrounds? There's just menu items. What's going on? Maybe I was wrong, and they're actually in the other file. Yeah, the other file. There's nothing in here either. This can't be possible. How could my plan have failed this badly? I had created the ultimate viewing program, and it was looking at all the assets in the game. But the backgrounds just weren't there. I lost all hope, and my heart sunk. This doesn't make any sense. The data has to be somewhere. Where else could it possibly be if not in the assets files? There's nowhere else I can search at this point. I mean, I looked at the files, the folders. Nothing. Where could it possibly... Wait a minute. Could it? It couldn't possibly be that the backgrounds are in the streaming assets folder. CG. What? They were here the entire time? All I had to do was look in one more folder? My mind couldn't comprehend what had happened. How could a seasoned PC user like me make such a rookie mistake? Any idiot with a keyboard would know that if you want to find something, you look in all the folders. That's lesson number 1. All this code, all this effort was for nothing? As I came to the realization that I just spent the last 4 hours writing a piece of code that was essentially worthless, my body went into a state of shock. It was like 4 hours of my life had been ripped away from my soul. Stupid, stupid, stupid! How could I have been so stupid? But no matter how much I yelled, it didn't change the fact that the biggest idiot in the room was not the kid angrily breaking his keyboard, not the kid who yelled, "When will you learn that actions have consequences?" But it was none other than Gouken Shadow, the fool who failed to check a single folder deeper.